Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to League Racing TV here for round number 7 of the TTML Formula 3 season here at the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka. And guys, awaiting us here tonight is a 5.8 kilometer circuit with 18 corners to its name, including some infamous ones like Dunlop Curve, the Degner, Spoon, 130R, and of course the S's being as tricky as always. But before we jump into that, we got to jump into qualifying, and taking you through the action is myself, Ivor Bryn Mike, also known as Michael Edwards, and joining me in the comments box is Mr. Storm King. Storm, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling good after, I think, which you'll say yourself as well, a chaotic Belgium Grand Prix we had last week with the two Alfa Romeos. But yeah, definitely Japan can offer, I think, quite an interesting race, obviously. We were expecting a few more, but we'll have to go with the 11 that we have tonight, and hopefully that produces a fantastic race in TTML F3.
Yeah, absolutely. Numbers not exactly what we were hoping for tonight, but I mean, we'll see. We'll push on, and we'll try and bring you the best action possible with the limited numbers that we do have tonight. We do have 11 drivers here, though, and one of them being our championship leader, which is CR7, and what an opportunity he's got tonight to extend this lead even further.
Yeah, I think if you want to extend your championship lead at any point, it's when your rivals ain't at a race, or they're not in the race because of a racing incident or whatever has happened on track. So it is kind of the situation where they have that opportunity tonight to maybe close the gap or extend any lead for any of the drivers.
Yes, absolutely. And looking at the championship right now, we have CR7 leading the way on 147 points, with Yaham and Wesker both on the same points. They're both on 95 points apiece, but Yaham classified as second, Wesker classified as third, and all three of them are here tonight. And this is a big one, because if my maths are correct, I believe the gap is 52 points, which means obviously with the point system, it could almost be completely out of reach by the end of tonight.
Yeah, that is obviously going to be quite interesting, and I believe NLR Dillon has been promoted to that full Alpine driver seat in S3, so he's obviously shown the French team what he's all about and what he can do on the track. So congratulations to him, he's got that full time now. So he's moved up from reserve, so it's going to be interesting what he can do for the remaining races. Obviously, he's been in the chats this week saying that he is quite fast at Japan and he quite likes Japan, so it'll be quite interesting to see if he can repeat that and get himself up on the top of the lead in Japan this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be very intriguing to see if he can do that. And of course, I mean, this is a golden opportunity for a lot of drivers here tonight. Obviously, Mad Jonas, sixth in the standings on 82 points. He's got an opportunity to jump ahead of both Lemons and NSR Yells, who are both not here. Who else? We got Stevie G with an opportunity to get ahead of both Scuba and Legend. Be an interesting battle to see how they go. And who else? We got Yogi looking to get himself up Yoda. He's not too far off Pariah, Lemmy K and Robin, so good opportunity for Yogi as well. A lot of opportunities out there for these drivers.
Yeah, obviously with opportunities there comes big rewards, as we found out in Belgium, the two Alfa Romeos having a clash. They are both here tonight, one in P2 and one in P5. Hopefully they don't have the same incident they had in Belgium in Japan, because I think it might not end the same way as it did in Belgium. Obviously they both came out with still both cars on the track, but I think, as like you said, opportunities do offer a lot of chances for the drivers that are here this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. And Obviously, looking at the qualifying session so far, I'm surprising to see so many people on the softs, and I would have thought with the lack of numbers that we'd see more people on the set of the mediums trying to just have the medium tire at the start.
Yeah, it might be the case. Oh, as Powdy goes for the mediums, as you just mentioned, I just wonder if maybe we are expecting some rain. Obviously, we don't know the weather for the race, so I just wonder if they're doing multiple runs on the soft because maybe they may not be not gonna use them as such. So it is an interesting one, like you said. Obviously, they've opted all for the soft compound tyre, except from Powdy. He has opted for the medium compound tyre.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on as Yogi's on the rundown now towards 130 yellow flags in sector 2 and 3. It is a purple middle sector for Yogi, but we'll see how accurate that is. Masters has lied to us many times in the past as we go into the Casio triangle and around the final corner. What's this going to be for Yogi? He's going to cross the line, and it is lying to us because it is a 29.0, 6 tenths off CR7.
Yeah, fantastic lap from the Alpha Tower drive. Obviously, we don't get to see this race in real life because obviously due to the pandemic situation it has been cancelled, and we didn't get to see that nice white Red Bull livery that we will see hopefully this weekend. It just may be a track where we may see someone lower down the championship standings. This might be their favourite track where they can put themselves out there and go that I am still here, I'm still in this championship, or I want to kind of put a marker here ready for the rest of the season going into next season.
Yeah, and honestly, as a driver, I absolutely love this track with a passion. It is by far my favourite track on any of the F1 games. I have a lot of love for Suzuka, so I'm hoping to see some good competitive racing here tonight, even with the depleted grid that we have here for you tonight. But around the final corner will come cars, we all peel off into the pits, so unfortunate there. And looking around to see what else we got on a lap. We got Yaham in the middle sector, Powdy on an out lap ahead of him. Mad Jonas was invalidated. We got Jagermo just coming on the exit. Spoon run down now to the middle sector split, and apparently he's on a 2-minute and 19-second lap, which I don't believe is accurate, but I suppose we'll see as he comes now into the Casio triangle. So as he loses it there on the curb on the exit of the Casio triangle, and he'll have to do a quick 180 and peel himself back into the pits most likely. No, he is going to carry on. Car drifting everywhere.
Yeah, I have fallen victim for that situation. The only problem was I got an auto reset by the game and it reset me straight directly into the pits, so he's quite lucky there. He's got an Alpine in front of him. I believe that is Powdy. Yes, it is Powdy. So Powdy's got in front of him, luckily, so he won't have any troubles on his final lap. It'll be interesting to see what the time difference is between the mediums and the soft tyres.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting indeed to see what the time difference is. I believe a good lap from Powdy will put him ahead of not only Yaham and Carsbury, but if he's on it tonight, he might be able to get himself ahead of Stevie G in 6th place.
Yeah, I find with Japan, well, Suzuka in particular, it's one of them tracks like Belgium and obviously the upcoming Imola. If you can get that one lap right, you just feel like, you've achieved. Oh, as it looked like Powdy went for a bit of Tokyo drift in Japan. He manages to catch the car as he's on to 130R as he comes down the straight. Looks to be a good time at the moment.
Yeah, but that little drift in Spoon, that's going to hurt his time massively as he comes through the Casio triangle once again. And almost losing it on traction on the exit, but to the line you'll come, it's going to be a 30.2, so my estimation probably would have been right if he didn't lose the car in Spoon there.
Yeah, I think coming out of that type of air, well, coming out of Spoon, because it's such a high, well, going into such a high speed straight, the car just gets a little bit unsettled, especially if you're on maybe fresh tyres or you're on the worn softs. Obviously, when they do come to the race, we don't know the weather, so it could be intermediates, could be wets. I think a lot of the drivers would pray for a dry race because the technical that is obviously at Spain with it, quite a few of the corners.
Spain?
You're not Spain, Japan. I'm having a mare tonight.
Spain? On the other side of
It's
the
like
road,
with
man. Oh, there's a
yeah.
man with Dylan, he's lost it. Coming up Dunlop, and he's in the wall, and that's his front wing completely gone. He must have heard you going on about Spain. He wasn't happy about that, but yeah, Dylan loses it at the top of Dunlop, and he's in the wall, no front wing to his name. As we got Oscar going past, he's on a lap currently. I believe Powdy up ahead is on a cooldown lap, so we'll go back on board with Oscar, who is Jaegermore on a lap. Yep, Jaegermore there as he comes through. Spoon very tentative through the corner there. Let's see what his middle sector is saying, and it isn't looking very good. So we'll go back on board with Oscar, who is on a cooldown lap now, and we'll go on board with Dylan, who we know had to spin. Yoki looks like he's just getting himself going again. CR7 has invalidated his lap, and Carlsbury's just started a lap. Let's see how he attacks the S's. And the one thing I've noticed in terms of Suzuka in the S's is high risk, high reward. Me personally, I like to attack the curbs in the first part of the S's, like properly attack them and go all up on those curbs. But in the second part, touch the curbs, you are gone. I'm seeing a lot of tentativity around those curbs in the S's right now. Everyone keeping well clear of them.
Yeah, I think it's like you said. I had the same situation 2 weeks ago. If you touch one of the curbs coming into that second part of that, you will go for a spin. And I think if that does happen, especially coming into the first corner as well, a few drivers I've seen go wide, and it has caused a few spins, as Carlsbury is going to come through the last part of the track, as he's now going to cross the line, and he goes up into P3.
Yep, good lap there from Carlsbury on those medium compound tyres. As we got F3 driver in Scuba in the chat asking where is everyone. Pretty much what's happened, everyone was watching Avengers Endgame, and they were also watching Infinity War, saw Thanos snap his fingers and just didn't turn up.
Yeah, it seems like they're all on board that plane to Turkey for the weekend.
But we'll do our best to bring you the action with the grid that we got, and obviously with Carlsbury on a cooldown lap now, we're gonna wait and see. Mad Jonas will be the first one to get us underway for what should be the final runs here.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. A few of the drivers have opted for the medium compound tyre. Like Yaham, he's in P9, 140.3 on the softs. I believe that time was set. So it'd be quite interesting if he's faster on the mediums.
I mean, 100% he's going to be faster no matter what time he goes on. He could put on intermediates right now and be faster.
Yeah, we don't need any Lando Norrises.
But on board with Mad Jonas is going to take us through a lap as we go through turns 1 and 2 now into the S's. Now, the inside curve for the first part of the S's is the one I like to attack because it really opens up that second curve, which we just seen Mad Jonas spin off of. It really is all about attacking that first curve and then using that curve to kind of open everything up for you and just carry the momentum through. You've got to get as close as you possibly can to the curbs, as well as we wait to see who's going to be the next man to cross the line, and it is going to be Yogi. So I'm actually going to go on board with Yogi to see if he can navigate the circuit and find some more time as gets underway. Nice run out of the Casio triangle. DRS wide open on the run down into turn 1. Bit of a double apex here as he turns in nice and early, gets the car slowed down, doesn't hit the apex of turn 2, but just get a nice exit, and now through 3 and 4, and he does hit the inside curb at 3, but it was a light touch. It's not you can't light touch these curbs, you really can't, because that's when they'll punish you. You actually have to properly attack them, at least from my own experience on this track. And like I said, I do love this circuit with a passion, as I'm on board with Oscar as he comes through the second deck now. He has improved in sector 1 now into the hairpin. Very crucial traction zone on the exit of here, but he gets it down absolutely lovely. Now the run down towards Spoon. Let's see if he can get his way through there without losing the back end. Yes, he does. And now is all about the run down towards the Casio triangle as we approach 130R. He is 2 times up, so this will put him up in the P. Oh, he's on course to beat Wesker here, so he could get P2 if he hooks up the final few corners. And Stevie G retiring from the session until the line will come Oscar, and he gets P3 ahead of his teammate, which after last week we hope will be a lot more cleaner between the two of them.
Yeah, I think that one will be one to watch on the race start. That could get quite heated between the two Alfa Romeo drivers. So qualifying on our screen has now come
improving.
to
2 tenths up. He comes through the Casio triangle. The man in the Aston Martin is going to come to the line, and it's going to be a 28.7. It is an improvement, and it was just in time because Dylan there also with a 28.7, and Madjonas into the pits, and we got Jagermol now, the last man to complete a lap, as well as CR7, who's I believe is going to peel off into the pits most likely, but I believe CR7 did improve slightly, and Jagermol there going into P9, and that's going to bring an end to qualifying here for round number 7 in Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. And it's going to be a very interesting race now. A nice little mix of mediums and softs in the top 10, and obviously Suzuka being that track that can throw up a lot of changeable conditions.
Yeah, I think seeing by the times, a few of the drivers may have not shown their their true pace in qualifying, as Madjonas is in P11 with a 1:59.8. But I will hand you over to yourself for the qualification results.
Yeah, so the man on pole position is the championship leader, CR7, ahead of Wesker in second place. NLR Dylan in third, with Oscar in fourth, ahead of Carlsbury, the first man on the mediums, in fifth. Yogi on the softs in sixth. Stevie G in seventh. And then we got a group of medium runners together of Yaham, Jagermol and Poldi going down from 8th to 10th. And then Mad Jonas outside the top 10, but he will be the only man who has free choice of tyre compound as we get ourselves ready to go racing here in Suzuka.
Yeah, I would just have to nip away for 2 minutes, so I will hand you over to Ivor, and he will keep you company, I believe, for the formation lap and the race start.
Yeah, absolutely. And while Storm has left, see, we'll quickly have a look at what could happen here tonight. I'm just gonna have a look for the maximum points gain that a driver can get. So 31. Okay, so it is unlikely that the championship is going to be wrapped up here tonight, but honestly, this is an opportunity where CR7 can pretty much, he can put the championship in absolutely no doubt whatsoever by taking victory here tonight. He already has a 52-point lead, and of course another win here tonight would help that out massively. But let's have a look at what tyres Mad Jonas has decided to go for, because he's the only one outside the top 10, and he's gone for the mediums. 27 laps here of Suzuka awaiting these drivers. The championship leader on pole position, one of his nearest rivals in Wesker, currently third in the standings, but he is tied with second place. That is Yaham on the same points. They're both on 95 points, both 52 points behind the championship leader of CR7, both looking for a big result here tonight. And this is the place to get, because I mean, we saw in qualifying how everyone lost it in the S's, lost it through Dunlop, lost it through the Casio Triangle. It is going to be a race of attrition, and honestly guys, I could see us finishing with only 5 drivers here tonight. I really could, because this track, as much as I enjoy it, is one of the more difficult tracks on the calendar, and to me this is a driver's circuit. This does favour a wheel driver in my opinion, especially through the S's. Although saying that, you can definitely do decent here on controller. I mean, I could definitely see 5 drivers. I could definitely see us finishing with only 5 drivers here tonight. I mean, if someone just touches a curb wrong in the S's and they could end up in the wall, someone could touch the top of Dunlop curve and end up in the wall. Obviously, throughout the final corner, if they get on the exit curb and light up the rears, they could end up into the pit wall right there. And you know, it's going to be interesting. This is going to be a race of attrition. Who is going to capitalize here tonight? I don't know, but we are going to find out as we got everyone now coming on to their grid positions. 11 drivers, 27 laps await as we form up on the grid to get ourselves underway. And I'm going to take a nice quick drink before we get those 5 red lights going. And here we go now to those 5 red lights. Lights are out and we are underway here at Suzuka, as my co-commentator has just managed to get himself back in, and Egamo there almost losing it in the back, and seems like everyone going through fine. But oh, the Alfa Romeos are already side by side going into the S's. Will they give each other the room this time around? Oscar tucking in behind Carlsbury, and we've got Stevie G trying to have a little look on Yogi, but it seems like everyone's got away pretty clean so far. CR7 out in the lead.
Yeah, it's looking to be a great start at the moment for TMC CR7. It's quite interesting because one of the Alfa Romeos is on the medium compound tyre, and one is on the soft. So obviously different strategies there for the Alfa Romeo, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is a few cagey moments between them. As we saw in Belgium, it did get quite feisty between the two.
I mean, right now, obviously with the tyre compound, you would rather Oscar be the man ahead of Carlsbury, kind of dragging him along on his medium set, but Carlsbury doing a good job at the moment, keeping with Dylan. Of course, this is only lap 1, so we'll see how this goes on as everyone settles themselves into the race. But yeah, I expect to see those soft tyres really come in and start putting Carlsbury under pressure pretty soon.
Yeah, it's also a quite interesting one. Will Carlsbury let Oscar through? Because we
Oh, Matthew
saw.
Watson in the pits. Maybe.
I wonder if he's going maybe for a two-stop, maybe expecting
Oh
a
no, wing
safety car.
damage. Wing damage.
Oh, he's gone for the softs. So he's going to use his set of softs. They will only last, I reckon, around about till lap 17, maybe. So
17,
he's definitely committing to a two-stop.
17 on the softs.
Well, I think they'll probably.
You
Well,
are daydreaming, mate. 17 laps on the softs.
no, not 17 laps. I meant up to lap 17. Oh, as he comes out the pits and has a little bit of understeer. No, I don't think he'll be doing.
He pitted at lap 1.
Oh, did he? Oh,
Yeah. We're on
oh,
lap
my
2.
screen. Yeah, my screen is showing. Yeah, the leaderboard is completely ruined.
It's not the leaderboard you gotta look at, it's the lap counter.
I should go to Specsavers.
You really should.
As they are coming through Spoon into 130R, as CR7 is around about 8/10 in front, so he's trying to, believe, get that 1 second DRS. There's a bit of a battle behind as Carlsbury is catching up to NLR Dillon for that final podium slot, as CR7 gets another fastest lap of a 1:31.8 as DRS is now enabled on lap 3 of 27.
Yeah, and this is going to be crucial now for these guys, especially in the S. As you see, Wesker there is dropping back slightly, and he's already used he's almost used, yeah, he's used 60% of his ERS compared to his, oh no, and that's Oscar around as Oscar touched the curb. Yep, Oscar has touched the curb, and that's caused a VSC.
Yeah, unfortunately, I believe that might be commentator's curse, as he has got no front wing. Just hopefully he get round most of the grid, oh, not most of the grid, most of the track before that VSC ends, so he hasn't got much time lost going round half the track.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there, but yeah, as I was going to say, Wesker definitely needing to make sure he doesn't. Oh, as Oscar gets a drive through for speeding under VSC, and that's going to add to his woes here tonight, as Dillon getting very loose through Spoon, and I believe he's going to be under immediate pressure now from Carlsbury, and he's a second off back of Wesker, who's trying everything to try and get back in that DRS window of CR7, but CR7 has gone, and here goes Carlsbury looking down the inside into the Casio triangle. Is he going to be able to do it? He's going to slow down and try and get a better run out, and he will have DRS. Dillon won't, so let's see what the overspeed is going to be like for the Alfa Romeo. He's going to look to the outside for turns 1. They're going to be side by side. No, Carlsbury able to get ahead, and up into the podium position goes the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, definitely two different contrasting races for the Alfa Romeo, as Oscar gets a 5-second penalty. I think it's just going to be one of them races to forget for Oscar. But it gives Matt Jonas to get himself up into P10. He's only 10 seconds behind, but Oscar has opted for the hard compound tyre, so I potentially go to the end, but he might swap.
That's what he's going for. He's just going to get to the end.
Yeah, I think Carlsbury had a look at the car in front of him, which I believe is Wesker, as they came into the hairpin, but he didn't get the move done as the doors closed on him as he is going through Spoon, and he will then, I believe, close the gap up here, up into 130R. I don't think he'd go for the move in 130R. It is quite risky, but he is closing that gap massively.
Yep, absolutely. As he's tucked into the slipstream, is he going to have a look down the inside? No, he's going to think better of it. Try and get the good run out of the Casio triangle. He's got a pretty decent run. Now he's going to use his ERS, and with the help of DRS, he's going to swoop past Wesker into second place. And this, we haven't seen Carlsbury like this at all this season. I mean, so far this season, he's picked up 18 points to his name, sitting in 17th in the driver's standings. And he might be a Japanese circuit expert here, because he's on the mediums and he's outperforming these guys on the softs right now.
Yeah, as Mad Jonas sets the fastest lap of a 1:31.5, it just puts him, I think, in maybe a better position if he can get past CR7, because he will be able to stretch their mediums. So if there was a safety car, he would be in that kind of prime position if he was able to stretch their mediums, as the other medium runners, they're doing okay, but not as good as what he has. I think he's just got that outright pace, and maybe he is feeling that this track is his comfortable track where he can, you know, really show his pace.
I mean, he's already broken DRS range to Wesker, who's dropping back to the clutches of NLR Dylan. Of course, we got Yogi in a bit. He's in a bit of a no man's land right now, as we got Steve who's under pressure from Yaham, who really needs to get himself up the order, because he's in this championship fight and can't afford to really drop too far back, as Stevie G's into the pits, and an early stop. But honestly, looking at how quick these mediums are compared to the softs, maybe not so early.
Yeah, and just looking at that fastest lap there by Carlsbury, he was 6/10 quicker than CR7's fastest lap, which was a 1:31.5. Carlsbury did a 1:30.9. So if he's doing that over one lap, I suspect within the next lap to 2 laps, we could see Carlsbury battle for that lead against CR7.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Carlsbury did use a good chunk of his ERS mine to set that lap. I mean, CR7 does have over 80. He's dipped down now to just above 70 with using a little bit on the exit of the hairpin. But yeah, Carlsbury's using his ERS to good effect right now. But is that going to come back to bite him?
It might do, because obviously he's not going to be able to use it when he gets that DRS, but he is in that DRS range as he comes through 130R, so he's going to get the DRS, but I think he might just be a little too far back on this lap.
Yep, not this lap. He'll have to go again, as we got Dylan on the back of Wesker, and Dylan's close enough where that DRS and ERS will definitely help him out as he tucks into the slipstream of the Aston Martin. He's going to look to the outside going into turn 1. They're going to be wheel to wheel, side by side, and Wesker tucks in, but Dylan runs deep, and that's going to allow Wesker to come back through. They are still going to be side to side as we approach the S's, and Dylan, he's looking for a bit of room, tried to stick his nose in there down the inside, but wasn't able to do so, and I believe someone's gone off in the background, and it is Yaham, and that's another VSC.
Yeah, another virtual safety car. I wonder if we will see a lot more of them tonight than a safety car, because obviously they are kind of more effective because it keeps the drivers at a more sturdier pace than bringing out a safety car.
I don't know, to be honest. I think all these drivers would rather not have any VSCs or SCs, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're Mad Jonas or Oscar, you definitely want a full course safety car to bring yourselves back into it. But for everyone else, everyone will probably just be like, no, don't want anything. I'm good.
Yeah, it does seem like it has kind of calmed down, unless you are kind of in Dylan's position or Carlsbury's position. As DRS is now enabled, and I believe they've gone back racing. So this will unleash NLR Dylan as they come through 130R. He's not got DRS at the moment, but he will get it in a few moments time as he comes through into that DRS range, and he is going to get DRS. He's got quite a lot of the ERS. He's got around about 60%.
Not close enough.
He's not going to be.
What about Yagamol on Powdy? He's gaining quite quickly, but he's not close enough. He's gone for it though, down the inside, and yep, that's never going to work. That was too late there from Yagamol to commit to the move. He's gone for the lunge down the inside. It's not worked out, and he has spun of the side pod of Poldy, who could have side pod damage. Now, I mean, we'll have to wait and see, but he definitely could have damage.
Yeah. A lot of drivers opting for the hard compound tyre, so that could come later on in the race if they are going to go to the end of the race, as Yarham goes into the pits and he is now down to P10 and has opted for the hard compound tyre. It's quite interesting to see that Powdy and Jägermol have not made any advances up the order, even though they may have seen Carlsfrey's pace on the mediums.
I mean, obviously it's a lot easier to kind of get yourself up the order if you can take advantage of the drivers ahead of you. I mean, for Powdy and Jägermol, they were behind Yarham. Yarham wasn't able to take advantage of Stevie, because Stevie came into the pits before any overtaking opportunity happened, as we got Wesker into the pits now. So it's kind of released Powdy, Jägermol, and effectively Yarham at the time into a pocket of no DRS and no one directly ahead of them. Then of course Yarham spinning, both Powdy and Jägermol would have had to take some avoiding action, let's say, slow down a bit, which would have compromised them even more. So
yeah, I think also with this track, dirty air doesn't help, and now obviously Powdy and Jägermol are potentially in that clean air. They may be able to close up to the gaps that are in front of them.
I mean, you say that, but I mean, Powdy, as we just saw that contact with Jägermol, Powdy could have side pod damage right now, so he's not going to close up. In fact, I think he has lost time to the cars ahead, which he really should be closing in rapidly now. So we'd have to assume that he does have a bit of damage on his car. Jägermol obviously going for that spin off the side pod of Powdy, so it's going to be a long race for those two. Difficult for them to catch up to the guys ahead, and see CR7 now peeling off into the pits, reacting to the pit stop of Wesker. And Carlsbury will take the lead, and look at that, that is a virtual safety car, perfectly timed for CR7, Dylan and Yogi here. And Wesker coming through 130. How unfortunate can Wesker be?
Yeah, I think it's the kind of situation, wrong time, wrong place, unfortunately there for Wesker.
Yeah, but not what you wanted to see. And is he going to come out behind them both? He's going to be close to Yogi. He's going to come out, oh, so close. He might have to give that position back. Okay, apparently he hasn't got to get the position back, but what does he? He's taking some wide lines here, Wesker. He might be trying to give the position back to Yogi, but Yogi not wanting to overtake. But yeah, look at that. I mean, Wesker has now lost so much time to CR7. The undercut now wasn't going to be effective anymore. And Yarham gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, but we are still under virtual safety car. I'm not sure how we're still under virtual safety car.
Yeah, it just seems like since the new patch, as it has been, yeah, since the new patch they are staying out a little bit longer, I've noticed, with the VSC. So this does unleash the drivers back to racing, and we've got 17 laps left. You won't believe it, 10 laps have already been completed in TTML F3 for round 7 in Japan, and it's currently Carlsbury is your race leader with Powdy 11.9 seconds behind. Then you've got the championship leader CR7 in P3, then you've got Jägermol in P4 yet to make a pit, then we've got Dylan on them fresh mediums in P5, then we've got Wesker in P6, all yellow flags in sector 1.
It's Yarham again. And he's been lapped by Carlsbury.
So it's not going all too well for the AlphaTauri driver. As you mentioned, he has been lapped now, so he's going to be a lap down to the leader. So not a race to remember for the AlphaTauri driver, it's a race to forget.
Yeah, and I mean right now, obviously CR7's in the net race lead. With that VSC, how much is that going to hurt Carlsbury? Because we know Carlsbury is going long, obviously starting on those medium compound tyres. But with that VSC, how much does that hurt him in comparison to Dylan and Wesker, for example? Because Wesker obviously lost out to Dylan. Dylan now 2.2 seconds ahead of Wesker, when Wesker was the lead car of those two before the pit stop phases, and is now under pressure from Yogi, who was in a bit of a no man's land. But where is this going to put Carlsbury once he makes his pit stop? That's the question I need answering, and we're going to get that answer eventually when he does make that pit stop.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I think it's now going to be the situation of how far can Carlsbury go. Can he make a gap for himself to not drop down so much, because the virtual safety car has kind of not helped him at all. As sector 1 yellow flags.
That's CR7. That's CR7.
He's gone for a spin.
CR7.
Yes, he has.
CR7 has dropped it, and that's definitely helped Carlsbury out now. That kind of nullifies the VSC in terms of the battle between Carlsbury and CR7. The gap now up to 20 seconds as that's Mad Jonas around. Everyone really struggling on this track, and I don't know why. It's not that difficult.
Yeah, all as I think Mad Jonas has gone for another spin. Maybe just got too hot on the tyres and has gone for another spin. He is currently in the P9. He's got a little bit of a gap, I believe, to Oscar, so he can get his car going again. All sector 1 yellow flags. Yep, that's Mad Jonas again. I think he's has he got a wing, or has that come off as well?
He's still got a wing, but given the amount of spins, we're gonna have to keep an eye on him right now, because if he's spinning it this much, he could end up losing it, as we just see Jaeger Moore and Dylan side by side through the final corner. Dylan's going to have DRS and he's going to cruise right past the man in the Haas. And up into 4th place as Yogi gets the move done on Wesker. So it's gone from bad to worse for Wesker and Yaham in their championship bid, because not only is CR7 right now, I believe he's still in a net P1, but it's definitely going to be a lot closer between him and Carlsbury now. What this has done is put the championship lead for CR7, I think it's almost at 70 points now. If after the pit stop it remains with CR7 picking up the win and Carlsbury tucking back into either 2nd or 3rd. See, Wesker would finish 5th, and if it does remain as it is in terms of the net positions, Mad Jonas into the pits now. Yeah, it's going to be like a 70-point lead for. So it's just on board with Wesker there, and I believe I'm having some connection issues. A couple of drivers bouncing around all over the place, but yeah, as I was going to say, the championship lead will be about 70 points now.
Yeah, I think if you put that into obviously I know that the points different, the point system is a little bit different to real life. You're talking that's over potentially need 3 F1 Grand Prix race wins in real life. So it may seem that it's not a lot, but when you look at it, with how many races are left in TTML, it is going to be a massive mountain to climb for whoever is in P2 and P3.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously here in TTML, a race win is with...
Oh, Dylan's out.
Oh,
Dylan has retired.
And that's a full course safety car.
So the full-time new driver in Alpine has not had a an Alpine debut to remember. That's a debut to forget. He has raced as a reserve quite a bit this season, but this was his full-time debut with Alpine, and yeah, that's not gone to plan.
Yep, not at all. So what we've got now is essentially a free pit stop for Poldy, Carlsbury and Jägermol. This will help out Yaham and Mad Jonas. They'll be able to unlap themselves. Oh no, Yaham! Yaham has absolutely bottled it. Yeah, you hate to see it. He's pitted behind the race leader, so he's not going to be able to unlap himself.
Yeah, that's definitely not what you want.
And Oscar was ahead of Carlsbury, so he'll be fine. So Yaham is going to be stuck behind Carlsbury on this safety car restart. He's not going to be able to unlap himself. He has absolutely butchered this. And Weska's in 6th place now.
Yeah, so a few of the hard compound runners have gone back to the mediums. Oh, and we've got the Aston Martin green safety car. So the new one in the latest F1 update. So a different change from the red Mercedes that we're used to be seeing. So we are under safety car, so no overtaking from any of the drivers, or they will be penalised. I believe it's a 10-second penalty, I believe, if they did attempt to try and overtake. And obviously if they overtake the safety car, they will get an automatic DSQ. So most of the drivers are on the medium compound. A few have opted for the soft compound tyre.
Yeah, it's interesting. They might be banking on another safety car coming in late into this race. I can't believe Yaham has absolutely butchered that though. Absolutely bottled it. All you had to do was just stay out, not follow into the pits, not follow Carlsbury into the pits, and he'd be able to unlap himself. But look at the situation he's in right now. He's stuck behind the race leader CR7, and there's nowhere for him to go. He is actually going to unlap himself. He's actually. Is he going to get disqualified for that? Surely.
Well, we're going to find that out, I think, as he has overtaken CR7. I think he's unlapped himself. He's been let go.
Oh, the safety car's coming into him.
Madness in Japan.
The safety car is actually reckless driving from the safety car. That's a 5-second time penalty, I know. Yaham,
yeah.
Steward reports, man. Check him in. Safety car, reckless driving. Bring back the Mercedes driver.
I know Bert Mylander's not in the Turkish Grand Prix, obviously due to COVID situation, but don't need no driving like that.
Absolutely not. I mean, I've seen some bad driving in my time, but oh, this guy in a safety car, oof, takes the cake. Takes the cake, guys. We got Scuba in the chat saying WTF in the chat with a couple of laughing emojis. You just cannot. The safety car should know better. You just can't drive like that.
No, it's. You just wonder what the safety car was doing. Yeah, I know obviously it's probably programmed or remote to, for when it comes out and everything, but that just literally was not going to stop.
It's just reckless driving from the safety car, in my opinion. But yeah, Yaham, I don't know like what was going on, because he was able to get himself. I believe he was behind Carlsbury and got ahead of Carlsbury, and then tried to get past CR7. When he tried to get past the safety car gave him the hard nope on that and just took him out into the Casio triangle. I mean, 10-second time penalty. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I just wonder if it was a bit of karma to Yaham. Oh, as CR7 is getting quite impatient with that safety car, as he's trying to potentially overtake it as well. As he's warming up his tyres. As I was going back to the Yarham and safety car incident, I just wonder if it was a bit of karma for him trying to overtake everybody, and the safety car was like, nope, you're not getting past me. You put yourself in that position by pitting and everything. So, yeah, I think that's just a bit of karma back to Yarham for trying to unlap himself.
Maybe, but we have got one more lap here under the safety car, and obviously for Yarham, he's a lap down now from everyone. Personally, like, if I was Yarham, I would be now all completely focused on trying to get his fastest lap, because you're not going to be able to unlap yourself unless you get another safety car pretty quick. And I don't think anyone else will pit now.
No. It's that situation, like you said, you know, he's on the soft, so he's gonna have the best pace advantage, and they're gonna be fresh than what anybody else is. Obviously, nobody else is gonna pit unless they have wing damage or anything on that safety car restart. So he's just gonna have to get his head down and just go for that fastest lap. And I believe the safety car is going to come in this lap, as they are coming up to the hairpin.
It has to. The safety car will definitely be in this time around.
So it's good.
Interesting thing is this does bring the likes of Mad Jonas and Oscar back into it. Obviously, we got guys now who started on the mediums in Poldy and Jagermo. They're on the soft tyres, and they're going to be hunting down Yogi in third. And then we got Carlsbury going to try to get a better of CR7 for first place, and obviously Wesker's gonna want to be hoping, if he can't get himself up the order, which, let's be fair, he's got 3 soft runners ahead of him. CR7's been outpacing him all race, and Yogi, who's got 2 cars in between him. Wesker's gonna want to hope that these soft runners can get ahead of CR7 to minimise the points that CR7 will get here tonight, as safety car will be in this lap. So CR7 now going to back up the pack, and we'll get racing once again here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Carlsbury does on the restart, if he's able to get that gap right down, as he's right on the back of that Red Bull, as we're going to get back under racing. And it looks like CR7 is going to do pedal to the metal, and he's going to get us back under racing down into turn 1.
Yep, and Johan's already dropped to the back of everyone, so now he is being lapped by absolutely everyone. And now we're going to see, oh, it's Carlsbury, he's touching inside curb, he's gone. Carlsbury is around. Oh no, for Carlsbury, he's absolutely gone. He clipped the inside curb and he has lost it, and now Yarham has been lapped by everyone but Carlsbury.
Yeah, I think that was just so unlucky for Carlsbury. He's done absolutely everything right this race. As I just literally said in the stream chat, who was going to win, CR7 or Carlsbury, and I think I might have just done a commentator's curse on Carlsbury, as he went for a little spin in Japan this evening, and he is now down to P9 from a possible podium position.
I mean, a possible race winning position, let's be completely fair, but yeah, you definitely cursed him there.
Yeah, as CR7 is going to come through one Daria on lap 18 of 27. Yogi is up to P2 with Powdy right behind him. No DRS enabled at the moment, so the soft runners will have to rely on their pace and ERS. But look at the gap that CR7 has at the moment. He is 1.7 seconds in front of Yogi.
Yeah, and of course we know CR7, he's shown great pace so far tonight. And obviously we got Yogi under pressure from Powdy. Jagermo having a little sneak around the outside, thinks better of it. but yeah, Jagermo and the Haas getting a little bit impatient now behind the Alpine, and we got Wesker there looking to pick up some positions if possible.
Yeah, I just hope... Oh, Sector 1 yellow flags,
Oscar,
which...
It's the Alfa Romeo. It's gone from bad to worse for the Alfa Romeo here tonight, and Cosby picked himself up a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, as that is trouble in Japan for the Alfa Romeos. I just wonder if Jagermo is going to not do what he did in turn 1 with Paudi, when he had that spin, and just maybe be a bit more safer this time and just, you know, go for a move at the right time and not go for a spin instead.
Yeah, absolutely. Jagermo, I hope would have learned from that first overtaking attempt. It was a bit of a lunge down the inside into turn 1. I honestly thought he was going to stick behind, but we'll see.